everyone. This is When Does Brahms Come In podcast. I'm Sofia, and today we're going to have a talk about the classic of Italian musical culture and one of the most significant composers of the 19th century, Giuseppe Verdi. He was born in 1813 into a poor family of an innkeeper. The boy began learning to read music and play the organ in a local church at the age of 5. He was interested in music since early childhood. When he was 10, he was noticed by a wealthy member of the Philharmonic Society of Italy, Antonio Barezzi, who supported Verdi until his death. Thanks to him, Giuseppe moved to the city of Busseto in northern Italy to study at the special school. At 15, Verdi had already written his own symphony. After graduating from high school, he settled in the house of his sponsor Barezzi. Giuseppe gave piano and singing lessons to his daughter Margherita, and in 1836 Verdi married her. Giuseppe Verdi tried to enter the Milan Conservatory but was unsuccessful. He could not just return to Busseto, so staying in Milan, he took lessons from the head of the La Scala Theatre Orchestra and one of the best teachers, Vincenzo Lavigna. Thanks to this acquaintance, Verdi received an order from La Scala for his first opera. Giuseppe Verdi's family moved to Milan. It was Milan that was meant to witness both the glory of the Maestro and his losses. There he lost 2 children as well as Margherita, the composer's beloved wife. By the age of 26, Verdi had lost his entire family. Due to this, he even wanted to quit music. After the premiere of the opera Nabucco in 1842, the composer received resounding success and European recognition. This opera is set in Jerusalem and Babylon in 578 before Christ. The plot was based on historical events and the biblical epic, and the focus was on the love of a captive commander and a royal daughter. The appearance of this opera became an indication of revolutionary discoveries in history. Myths came to life and became reality, uprising from the dust of the earth. 1840s and 1850s became the most productive years in creative terms for Verdi. During this time, 20 operas were written. Then he met Giuseppina Strepponi, a singer who performed one of the main roles in the opera Nabucco. Since 1847, she became Verdi's de facto wife. Giuseppe affectionately called her Pipina. At the beginning of the second half of the 19th century, Verdi returned to Busseto. There he was engaged in agriculture and horses and began to actively participate in the political life of his country. So, in 1860 he became a representative of the first Italian parliament, and in 1874 even a senator in Rome. Verdi worked on his music, combining it with politics. Thanks to the composer, a boarding house for elderly musicians was opened. Giuseppe Verdi, who died in Milan on January 27th in 1901, was buried in the same institution. The composer's funeral grew into a large procession. More than 200,000 people came to see him off on his last journey. And the farewell itself took place under the singing of the people's choir of slaves from Nabucco. This song won the hearts of listeners, as did the work of the great Verdi in general. During his long life, Giuseppe Verdi wrote 26 operas. The most famous one is La Traviata, based on Alexandre Dumas' play The Lady of the Camellias. The plot of this opera takes place in Paris in the mid-19th century. Alfred Germont arrives at the reception given by Violetta Valery in honor of her health recovery. He fell in love with the girl at first sight. His sincere confessions touched her heart, and in the end, she made an appointment with him. Throughout the opera, a complex love story unfolds between Violetta and Alfred, which makes listeners worry. This rather outrageous love of the heroes was intertwined with Verdi's life. There is no opera house that doesn't stage La Traviata. La Traviata is an immortal masterpiece and a vivid example of how one small fate can change history and excite human hearts for several centuries. Giuseppe Verdi's pen owns, as it was mentioned, 26 operas, as well as romances, spiritual and instrumental works. Unfortunately, many pieces of other genres besides the Great Requiem are practically unknown. Their manuscripts have been lost. The great works of Giuseppe Verdi are performed all over the world. The Milan Conservatory was named after the composer, the one that didn't accept Verdi. The work of the Maestro of Italian Revolution, as he was called, is one of the greatest achievements of world opera. Brahms will come to see us again, but for now, see you soon. This was When Does Brahms Come In podcast, and sincerely yours, Sofia.